Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I wanted to just start off by saying thank you so much for your warm welcome back, and I was just so excited about how many of you there are here and how many of you were just so supportive and lovely in the comments. Thank you. That was really, really special. I wanted to share, again, some of the things that I've been up to. I have been making jam, lots of jam. So this particular mulberry jam I whipped up from mulberries right in the backyard. The tree is absolutely gorgeous. It's so big and so vibrant, and it just has so much fruit on it. They do stain your hands, as I've come to realize. I made a little jar this time, but I have been making all kinds of different flavored jams and using the mulberries for all kinds of things, but we'll get to that later. It's been really, really cool. We discovered that there's a mulberry tree on the property, and it just sort of, again, exploded with berries. It's a hybrid, I think. It's both black mulberries and white mulberries. Almost like lavender colored mulberries. So I've made a few different things with both of those. I made some really, really good lavender scones. Lavender and white mulberry scones that were fantastic, especially with the mulberry jam that I made from the darker mulberries. So I'll show you all of that. And I also what I thought was an avocado tree turned out to be a loquat tree, which is also called the Japanese plum, I believe. And again, I'm just learning everything as I go. It's really exciting, especially now that it's springtime, basically summer, probably by the time this comes out. But yeah, it's been really, really, special just watching everything come to life, different things, learning about what they are, how to use them, all of that kind of stuff. It's just been incredible. So these little guys are the white mulberries, and you'll know when any of the mulberries are ripe when they're really easy to just sort of twist off. They kind of fall into your hands. A lot of people harvest mulberries by just shaking the tree and collecting them from the ground, which is definitely something that we've done. But when they get really, really dark, the black ones, that's when you know to kind of test them out and see if they twist off easily. And with the white ones, you just want to wait until I don't know how to explain it. Some of them turn a little bit lavender colored and some of them stay fairly white, but it's just about sort of the plumpness of them and just testing it again, just sort of twisting it. So the loquats, I'd say, are sort of a combination of a kumquat and maybe an apricot. They're a little bit tart. So they're fantastic for jams. And I've made so much loquat jam. It's almost like loquat butter, kind of. It's amazing. The way that I've been doing the Loquat Jam is using all kinds of spices like nutmeg, and I did one with like a pumpkin spice. Partner has been eating it on his oatmeal every morning. Either that or the Mulberry Jam, which the Mulberry Jam has not lasted long enough to have it. I mean, I barely had any before he finished it. So the Mulberry Jam is really easy to make. It's basically just the same as the loquats, which I'll be showing you in a little bit. I just like to heat it up, keep an eye on it, pour some sugar in there, and I usually do a little bit of citrus, usually lemon, and a bit of lemon rind as well. But I don't know if you've ever had loquat before. They're so interesting. Just a fascinating little fruit. Like I was saying before, I thought they were avocados because the way that they grow on the tree, they look green, and they have sort of before they're ripe, they have, to my naive eyes, they had sort of what looked similar to an avocado skin, particularly something like maybe a bacon avocado, so like a thinner skin on the outside. But that's been really, really cool, having fruit trees and not knowing about it. There were a few of the trees that we were told Yeah, it might be this or that, but they're basically barren. They haven't produced any fruit in a long time, so we had very low expectations, and we were hopeful, I guess, that something could happen, but we figured we wouldn't get that lucky, and we have been. I mean, yeah, we had a really good, I feel strange saying harvest, even though that's, because I'm not a farmer. Whenever I hear people saying harvest, I always imagine like a large amount, but we just have one loquat tree. So yeah, but I guess we harvest the loquats. But whenever I pick the loquats, they filled up baskets and baskets. Loquats are apparently a great source of several vitamins and nutrients, and also have a whole slew of health benefits that I was unaware of before I realized we had a loquat tree on the property. Some of the major nutrients are vitamin A, vitamin B6, manganese, potassium. Apparently they're great for the circulatory system, for diabetes, blood pressure, digestion, immune health, all kinds of claims about these little guys, so that makes it extra fun and satisfying to play around with them in the kitchen. I always make sure to wash all of the fruit I get from the garden. And particularly these, they have a little kind of dusting on their skin, almost like a fuzz. It's really easy to wipe it off. But I just wanted to make sure that they're all good to go for this jam. And I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot. My partner made me a little smoothie, making sure I was all good to go while I was taking my time with these loquats. They are, there's a few steps to the process of prepping them for this, and I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do it with some kind of machine, but there was something really satisfying about doing it all by hand. I sat and listened to music and just cut up these loquats. Prepped them for our delicious Loquat Jam. And after a while, these things just feel sort of meditative. And it goes by really quickly. So then I put them all into a little pot, and I put, I think, about half a cup of raw cane sugar and a quarter cup, or maybe it was a quarter and a quarter of brown sugar. Lately I've just kind of been eyeballing everything. As the sugar kind of works its way into the fruit, just the aromas are amazing. And I did all of that without any heat until I added a bit of citrus. And then I turned the stovetop on to just cook it down a bit. Release the moisture, break down the fruit. And before I put it in a jar, I will either take a hand blender, or I'll wait for it to cool and then put it into a traditional blender. And that creates this really yummy, almost like apple butter consistency. We would eat loquat on all kinds of things. I love putting fruits in different salads, especially like spring and summer salads. So we've been doing that, and then putting it on toast. I love having a multi-grain toast with a little bit of like chunky peanut butter, some hemp seeds and flax seeds, and then fresh loquat just chopped up right from the garden. Just like spun and picked off the tree, wiped down. It's great. It's a great little snack or a way to start the day. I've never really made jams before. I mean, I've done it, a bit here and there, but nothing like this because there were just so many berries and we had to go out there every single morning. It was so fun going out there every morning and seeing what new berries were there. Basically, the tree is quite tall, so all of the berries on the top half of the tree, those all belong to these two very hungry, very determined squirrels and the birds that we have in the backyard, and maybe some other things. I'm sure there are other critters and things that are eating those. But all of the lower berries and anything that I could kind of reach when I was on top of my partner's shoulders, we got to have those. I'm not sure if you could tell, but he just ran me into an upper branch. Not hard or anything, but that's why we're laughing. So what we like to do is, wake up, have our coffee, and hang out with Georgie, and then walk around the yard. Georgie's our little puppy, if you don't know that. And walk around the yard and sort of see what's going on. See if there are any new things happening out there. And we'll just go out and sort of decide what we're going to have for breakfast based on what we can find. I mean, it's usually oatmeal, but oatmeal or toast or a smoothie or something. But if there are a lot of berries or a lot of loquats out there, we might add something special to the oatmeal. Some of them like to hide underneath all the branches. The loquat tree is quite wide. We also have a peach tree and a nectarine tree and I believe a plum tree as well, though the plum tree didn't bear any fruit, or hasn't yet. We very patiently watched as those beautiful peaches just got bigger and bigger and riper, and then one morning we went out there and they were all gone. Little disappointments like that just, I guess, have to be part of the whole experience. I don't know who got them though. I would like to hope that some little critter enjoyed them. As far as the scones go, I don't think I've mastered those quite yet. Vegan baking is, it can be a little bit tricky. It's really fun because you have to kind of be a scientist and a little of this, a little of that. Do it once and try it again and see what you can improve upon, but it does take a bit of time to figure that out. I've got a few recipes as far as baking goes that I feel really confident about, where I don't even have to look at my recipe anymore, or I can just kind of do it by eye. But there are a few, the scones, for example, they did not rise. The second batch was a little bit better than the first, but I think there were a few things that went into that being the case. You have to find that perfect balance of whatever egg replacer you're using and just make sure that it's not too liquidy, or if it is, then you have to counter that. And so it's just kind of a balancing act. And it's definitely, this is all from my perspective, obviously. It's vegan baking for me is trial and error. It's a lot about getting your hands dirty and figuring out what works and what doesn't, and my oven versus my old oven, and little things like that. I will definitely be making a scone recipe over here if you're interested in that, because I think it has some real potential, this idea of the lavender scones with the lavender colored berries. I think it's got potential. The flavor was incredible. It was so, so good. Those scones were amazing. It was just the rise. I couldn't get the rise on them right. So I will definitely share a recipe once I figure out that science. And I wanted to use fresh lavender for this. I love cooking with lavender, and there's a local farm that has lavender while I try to figure out how to grow it from seed. I've had some struggles, but I think that'll be in a future video. But I do have a local farm where I get my lavender, and and it's just such a great thing to cook with, to have for bouquets. I don't know, brings me a lot of joy. And this is a little kind of glaze icing that I used. I used some bit of powdered sugar and some lemon juice, fresh squeezed, and then a little bit of non-dairy milk. That was coconut milk. And again, some more lavender. Then I added a little bit of lemon zest. I think it really kind of amps it up. It just makes everything pop. But it does feel so nice just baking things with ingredients that I was able to just walk into the backyard and pick that morning and then make something out of it. I think those scones lasted an afternoon. And it was a batch of scones, it wasn't just a small amount. They went like that. It was pretty good. All right, well, again, I thought it was really nice to bring Georgie in to say hello, so I might go see if I can rouse her from her slumber. She might be napping on the porch or something like that. So I'm gonna go see if she is awake and willing to come and say hello. So I'll be right back. Okay, here she is. The one, the only, Georgie. Oh, Gigi! Maybe it's just because it's so hot in this room. She seems chill again. Very chill. Good girl, mama. Sorry, I'm looking in the viewfinder. I just want to make sure you can see her face. It might be a bit unfair. I did sort of wake her up from a nap. Hiya. Hey, Gigi. She's doing well. She hasn't gone back to her hobby in a while. Hasn't eaten any random animal poop. Good job, Georgie. Good job. Yay. That's so good. You're so good, girl. Huh? Yeah. Oh. I mean, she's usually quite chill, but I hope you can tell the difference between post-bath Georgie and post-nap Georgie. Oh. We usually take a long hike in the evenings before all of this has happened. But yeah, we usually take a long hike in the evenings for sunset, and Georgie really loves that. She loves going outside and being in nature with us and things like that. And usually we'll bring a backpack and just have her, if I'm carrying her, I'll put the backpack on so that her head is in the front. And if Bert has her, he'll have it so that she's in the back. But it is pretty cute. And I think we're gonna do that again tonight, which will be really nice. If we do, maybe I'll bring you along. This isn't really much of a cameo, because she's not really, she's not really doing much. She's not really saying hi. Do you wanna say hi? Not really. She said, not really. I don't really want to. Let's do on this side, let's see. Oh, how's that? There we go. Maybe you can just take a nap right there. Is that nice? Good girl. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the whole video. And if you would like, subscribe, like this video if you want, and I'll talk to you in the comments if you're down there. It was great saying hey to everybody last time, so I'll do that again. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again very soon. I don't know if we're off to an adventure. I think we're just gonna this one might need a little bit of a nap. Okay, bye! So we didn't end up going on the hike, but we took Georgie on a little walk, and then we just played with her in the yard. And we had a cuddle and watched the sunset instead.